How goes the family? Welcome back to Larry's Anything Goes. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. Today's subject matter, it really hits close to home. I'm talking about these two lovely young ladies right here. They've made national television since the government shutdown took place, but I've been waiting to make this video, and so excuse my excitement, but it's a very passionate story because I'm on the same path that these ladies are already succeeded in. My kudos goes off to these two young ladies, family women, hardworking women, nothing but love for you guys. So we're gonna talk about Jackie White and Nikki Howard. Now, the main reason why I'm making this video is because I'm from the DMV area. You know, the story comes from the part of the country I'm from, the good old DMV area, Washington, D.C., Maryland, Northern Virginia area. I'm from the Northern Virginia side. Everybody has their own little slang and twang and whatnot when it boils down to the DMV area, but their story hit home because most people in the area, if they're not a government employee or in the military, then they are a government contractor. Government plays a big part in the DMV area. Most people know that if you live in the United States of America, and when certain things occur, it affects people's livelihood. And if you all remember that the last government shutdown, when a lot of people were financially affected, and I remember making a video about this saying, if this isn't your wake-up call, I don't know what will be. You know, I discussed how the U.S. economy works, and if you don't start thinking outside of having a job box, this will be your life. There is no such thing as a safety net. But I digress, and I can't believe it's been a year ago since that happened. But you know, it's just telling it like it is, because a lot of people were affected. They were no longer getting paid. I remember even some instances you had TSA agents that they still had to go to work and they weren't getting paid. It sucked, you know. So it was a bad situation. You know, people playing politics with other people's lives. Now remember, this is not I'm taking sides or endorsing any Republican and Democrat nonsense. I don't get into that. I don't care about politics. This is not anti-government nonsense either. I don't do that either. I'm just pro-assets, pro-team building, pro-collaboration, pro-entrepreneurship, if anything else. Anything outside of what I just mentioned that I'm pro, I'm not really concerned with, okay? Or as they say in Spanish, no importa para mí. Not important to me. Entiendes? Understand. Okay, let's keep it real. Now, when it boils down to it, we live in a time where you have no choice but to at least try to collaborate with people and have assets. You know, the Lone Ranger days are gone, period. You know, and if you don't believe me, you see a lot of immigrants in the United States thriving because they don't play the Lone Ranger game. They play the money game like they played it back in their own countries. Togetherness, cohesiveness, and that's why they're able to buy assets and remain in expensive areas of the country, and why other people can't because they're playing the Lone Ranger nonsense when it comes to their money. That's just my personal opinion, but if you look at it into perspective, you know I'm right on this one. But I'll leave that alone. Now back to these wonderful ladies who are inspiring people. You know, like I said, her name is Jackie White and her awesome sister Nikki Howard. They turned a crazy and sad situation into a cheesecake family business. And family does matter when it comes to business. And now their cheesecakes will now be available for purchase in 100 Walmarts throughout the DMV area. These two intelligent, sophisticated, elegant, great women were affected like the other 800,000 workers from the government shutdown. They actually had savings, unlike most people, which is a very smart thing to do, to keep food on the table. But they knew that they had to take another course of action in order to supplement their income. They stated, and I quote, they prepared for rain, but they knew that there was a monsoon coming, and they had to prepare for that as well. I know a lot of people, they ended up taking a side gig. People was doing Uber Eats, they were driving Uber, you know, Airbnb, Lyft, all that good stuff, because you just never, like, you have to have a backup plan of some sort. And if you have a worker mentality, then you better have a working backup plan. It just is what it is. I love the fact that they took their work ethic that they do for a job and they actually put it into a business. And just look at these people. They look so freaking happy. You know, they're living their best life. You know what I mean? There's no other way to put it. You know, and it's a beautiful thing, you know, and some of the best and brightest people shine when they are in a difficult situation. That's one thing to always remember. And to quote Damon Dash, you know, you got to be willing to go through the pain if you really want to be successful. If you're not going through pain, then that means you're not working hard enough. And that's real. You know, Mrs. Wright works at the Department of Justice in DC. Like all entrepreneurs, the sisters decided they needed to take a chance and started a cheesecake business to make a way for themselves. And the one thing I love about the name of the business, it's based off of their situation. You know, names mean something. You know, Furlough Cheesecake Factory, man. I love it. I just, like I said, I get excited about this kind of stuff, man, because this is the kind of motivation that certain people need. But if you can, don't even put yourself in a situation to where you're going to need to be in this situation. Have a job, yes, but put yourself in a situation where you can say, I don't need this job. This job is an option. That's all I'm ever saying. That's all the Larry's Anything Goes platform is all about. Not only financial intelligence, but saying, hey, I have a job. I love my job, but I got options. I can tell my boss, I don't need this job. No, not take this job and shove it, but I can tell my boss I don't need this job. I'm here because I actually enjoy being there, not for the money. And when you enjoy being someplace, well, not for the money, like people who are parents, they enjoy being with the children. They're not getting paid financially. They're getting paid because of the love that they have. When people enjoy being with a significant other, they're not getting paid financially. They're getting paid because of the love that they have for each other. And that's the same thing when you own a business, okay? Even though you're getting paid, but you're operating in love, in a sense. Look at these people. Happy family, and that's how it should be. Life should not only just be about being in some office that you hate being in. I'm just going to keep it real on that, but I digress. Like I said, I'm passionate about this subject matter, and all people, especially people that live in the DMV area, especially people who have a job, no matter where you work at, take heed to what I'm saying and take heed to what other YouTubers say about this situation. It is that real. Not everybody can be a business owner, but somebody can own stock in a business. Okay, that's what it is. Everyone needs to be able to work hard enough to first pay their bills and then work hard enough to the point where they can say having a job is an option, period. Okay, this is being rich to me. Look that face on these people. Being rich in happiness, love, and in time, having your time back. I'll leave it at that. And one thing I could say, whether if you work for the government, huge private sector corporation, or a small family business, there's no such thing as job security anymore. It's gone. Finito. Adios. Terminado. The whole nine. It's gone. So please do not fall into that category, or I call it into that trap. In 2019 and beyond, the only financial security you're going to have is two things. Savings accounts, let them grow, and assets, let them grow. Those two things need to grow. Okay, period. A job will never do that for you since the government shutdown lasted over a month, and it made it the longest one in history. Like I said, not anti-government, I'm just pro being a boss. Okay, Mrs. Howard said that her kids were her motivation, and that's a beautiful thing. She stated, and I quote, and look at her kids are working with her now. They're part of the business, and she's showing them that they can be their own boss. They don't have to go work for the government or work for the private sector. They can do this thing on their own. And that's the beautiful, you can tell somebody anything all day, every day. However, you could need to show them. And I'm one of those, I like to show you better than I can tell you, you know, to be real honest with you, you know. So I love it. I love it. Okay. And she's like, she stated, you know, and I quote, how can I look my child and say I can't send you back to school? Now, she is considered a former now, which I love, former Food and Drug Administration worker. I love that. She has the title of a boss. She went from an employee to a boss, and I love it. There's no other way I can express that. During the first week of the shutdown, the company received over 100 orders outside of the DMV area. That says a lot. Okay, over 100 orders outside of the DMV area, which, you know, it's only the beginning. When you start, getting that kind of impact when you're selling products, you know it's only the beginning. And one of the biggest reasons that this happened is because they have such a great product. One, because I myself have tried it, so I'm not just talking it, but I'm, practicing what I preach. And because their story gained national attention. One major order that the team actually got was from Ellen DeGeneres. That is awesome. Who placed a $20,000 order. And you know when somebody like Ellen DeGeneres or Oprah Winfrey gives you the national attention, it puts you on track to become something very great. No other way for me to put it. Also, since their story made news, the sisters have been able to make Furlough Cheesecake their full-time job. Say what? Their full-time job. Walmart already has the mini versions of their cheesecakes available in 100 stores, and it started back in August of this year, in 2019. And I just love it. because this is the message that young people need to hear. We are in a capitalist society in the United States of America, and if you're not trying to sell something, then you are playing the game all wrong. And I will say that again. We are in a capitalist society in the United States of America, which is a beautiful thing. And if you're not trying to sell something, then you are playing the game all wrong. This story has inspired me, and I truly hope that it inspires you. I hope it inspires your children, your significant other, your family members, because this is where it's at. Especially in the African American community, no other way to put it. We live in an own to be owned time frame. Don't just be a buyer, start selling something. I don't care what it is, as long as it's a legal product. Don't just rent, buy a house, buy land, whatever. Get into a situation to where you can pull a resource and buy something of value. Okay? Because the smile on these two people's faces is impeccable, and they created it on their own, not their employee. Their employee situation actually gave them the motivation to create Furlough Cheesecake Factory. And to end this video off, well, like I always say, you can't get fired if you own the company. And these two ladies aren't getting fired anytime soon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please share. Please check out my online store and check out my new apparel. I will be adding a new shirt to my store. And as always, financial intelligence is our business. I hope you're here to get some. Take care.